You know, when we see those images of humanitarian aid workers in crisis zones, the first word that pops into our heads is usually hero. And yeah, for good reason. But behind that heroic image, there's this whole complex ethical framework, a system that makes sure their work is actually effective and, safe for everyone. So let's pull back that curtain and really dig into the rules of the road that turn good intentions into truly effective aid.
It's a great question, and it really cuts both ways, doesn't it? I mean, what do organizations owe the workers they're sending into some pretty dangerous situations? And just as important, what do those workers owe the communities they're there to serve? As we're about to see, it's about a whole lot more than just showing up with a big heart.
Okay, so this brings us to a really critical idea: disaster tourism. The World Health Organization is crystal clear on this. Sending people who aren't qualified or aren't actually needed into a crisis zone, even if they mean well, is just ethically wrong. Think about it. It can drain already scarce local resources, it can get in the way of the real experts, and it can just plain do more harm than good. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it proves that just wanting to help isn't enough.
Right, so if good intentions aren't the whole story, then what is? Well, the answer lies in what we can think of as an ethical pact. And this isn't just some vague, fuzzy idea. It's a real, structured, professional agreement that is the absolute foundation of effective foreign aid. Let's break down what that pact actually looks like.
And this is where it gets super interesting. Ethical deployment isn't a one-way street where you just send people to help. No, it's a reciprocal agreement, a two-way promise. The organization has a whole set of obligations to its workers and to the local community. And in return, the worker has a set of professional responsibilities they have to uphold. This pact is literally the bedrock of aid you can trust.
So what does this pact look like from the organization's side? Well, their side of the bargain is all about two things: preparation and protection. They have this fundamental duty to properly prepare their people for the mission and to protect not just them, but the local community from any accidental harm.
And this breaks down into 5 huge pillars. First up, coordinate locally. You can't just parachute in. That creates chaos. Second, select fairly. This means choosing people with the specific skills needed for the job, not just anyone who's enthusiastic. Third, inform clearly. You have to be totally honest about the risks. Fourth, and this is a big one, train thoroughly. We're not just talking technical skills, but local culture and ethics too. And finally, ensure safety. You got to have proper equipment and a clear chain of command, because a helper who gets into trouble just becomes another person who needs rescuing.
This quote right here, it just nails the whole point. The goal isn't just to send more people, it's to fill a specific identified need. Foreign aid workers should only be sent in when they can offer critical skills or services that simply aren't available on the ground. Anything else? It risks becoming a burden.
All right, so that's the organization's promise. But remember, this is a pact. It's a two-way street. So what's the workers' side of this? What's their pledge? Well, their responsibility is to serve the community effectively and to safeguard the well-being of absolutely everyone involved, including themselves. This pledge really comes down to 4 core duties. Workers have to be all in on the training and preparation. They have to stick to their assigned role, no freelancing, no matter how good their intentions, because that can be really dangerous. They also have a massive responsibility to be super vigilant with things like infection control, to protect themselves and a population that's already vulnerable. And crucially, they're accountable to local laws and standards, not just the rules from back home. And when you see it laid out like this, side by side, it just clicks, right? The organization's promise to train and provide resources is met by the workers' pledge to be prepared and professional. The promise to coordinate locally is perfectly balanced by the pledge to respect local laws. See, one side just doesn't work without the other. This right here is the pact in action.
This whole framework, this whole idea of a two-way street, is what elevates aid work from just being simple charity into a real professional discipline. It's this system of mutual trust and shared responsibility that turns well-meaning people into a truly effective ethical aid force.
So what's the bottom line here? Is that we need to move beyond just admiring the courage of aid workers and start respecting their professionalism. Truly supporting them means understanding this ethical pact, because that's the very thing that separates effective, life-saving aid from well-intentioned chaos. So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you see aid workers responding to a crisis on the news, will you see more than just heroes? Will you also see that invisible structure holding it all up, the promises, the pledges, and the deep ethical responsibilities that make their work truly heroic?